Hello and welcome to my Spirituality and Witchcraft channel. I'm Persephone and today we're going to discuss spells for total beginners. So if you're interested in witchcraft and you want to cast your first spell, this is the video for you. Before we start, I want to please ask you to consider becoming my Patreon. The link is above on the banner because this channel is not monetized and it's very difficult to work for free in this terrible economy. Now let's skip all the intros and go straight to the point because I don't like videos with long intros and I think you don't either. Witchcraft and magic have to do with manipulation of energy and making your intentions clear. You can do it by using your own energy and your own intention, and you can do it by asking help from the spiritual realm. By spiritual realm, I'm not very specific because it greatly depends on your religion. People from different religions and spiritualities will be watching me. Could be an ancestor, could be an angel, could be something else, could be your spirit guide, and so on. In general, using your own energy and your own intention can produce results just fine, but it takes a tremendous amount of energy and it's sooner or later going to take a toll on you. So I recommend for faster results, we're going to explain both types, but for faster results, you have to sit down with yourself, take time, relax, and decide your spiritual and religious beliefs. I'm saying that and I'm going to keep repeating it because it's profoundly important. If your intentions, who you're asking help from, and what you want to achieve is not clear, either it's not going to work or it's going to work in a twisted way that you don't want. You want the exact results that you write down, that you wish for, that you manifest. Step number one. Step number two, decide what you want from the spell with 100% certainty if possible. If you want to care someone, because I had people who asked me, there is not a one-fit-all care spell that you're going to quote-unquote get away with it. The belief that if you care someone it comes back tenfold is a belief that people who want to rob you from spiritual power plant it in your mind to make you afraid. Usually, curses can be two types. It could be self-defense curse, where someone wrongs you and you pay them back, or it could be curse based on envy, hatred, some negative emotion. In general, the curses who tend to backfire are the curses who are completely unjustified, like someone did nothing wrong to you, but you're envious of them and you curse them. Yes, that can come back. So, before we start any kind of spell, especially the negative ones, you have to ask yourself, am I right to want to curse this person? If things go wrong and the person gets harmed seriously, am I going to feel bad? If the answer is anything else but a certain no, I'm not going to feel bad even if they die, then don't do it. Give yourself more time. But if you are in an extreme situation where it's your life or their life, or they have harmed you so much that you feel that you cannot keep on living with this injustice, then you go on. And then that spell is most likely going to work. Okay, I'm saying this because there are people who try to do half-assed spells and they don't work. This is serious and dangerous. So, step number one, decide who you're going to ask help from. Step number two, make your intention clear and be 100%, okay, 100% is an exaggeration, but as certain with your decision as possible. Step number three, what kind of ingredients are we going to use? I would say when you start, usually when you get into this sphere of spiritual realm, you're either broke or you have a very small budget. So I'm not going to teach you stuff that require 10 different types of herbs from Amazon and some kind of ancient fossils and to like sneak into cemeteries to steal dirt and other stuff that you're not going to do because usually you're low energy, and even if you do them, the cost is going to be so big that your negativity about the cost is going to spoil the spell. First thing that you need is going to be a piece of paper. We write down what we want to the piece of paper as clearly as possible. Okay. There was one time when I was first beginning, and I always tell this story because it's very funny, that I wanted to do a money spell and I wrote down, I want so much money, I want endless bills or something in the paper for the spell, and then the next day I was walking on the street and it was flooded with fake Monopoly money. I kid you not, like it was fake money and plastic money, like someone dumped 10 pieces of Monopoly games and money on the street. So I got my wish, I got flooded with bills, but they were not real bills. And it was really funny because a person who knew the spell was making fun of me and saying, yeah, you got the bills that you wanted for. So we are as clear as possible. For the offering part, when you ask help from your spirit guide, it's the same thing as going to the house of an important person to ask for assistance or for a favor. We don't go to an important person empty-handed, right? So it's good to have any kind of offerings to offer. I'm not even going to discuss nonsense about sacrificing humans, animals, virgins, and other crap like that. The people who do stuff like that are mentally sick people. Personally, I'm against all kinds of sacrifice that include harming someone else. We're not this type of channel, and like I said, the people who do it are sick people using spirituality as a cover for the murder they intended to do and the abuse they intended to do in the first place. The simplest offering and the most effective, in my opinion, is getting a candle. The candle is also good for another reason. If you don't know how to meditate, now it's the time to also start together with your first spell. So, you write your intention on a piece of paper. You get the candle. There are people who prefer to burn the paper on the candle. If you have affinity with fire, and I say this, you are going to feel the desire to try it. Personally, I don't like burning things, so what I usually do is I would place the candle holder or any kind of metallic item you have to place the candle on without like setting your house on fire. Place the paper, then place the candle on top, and then you can meditate, or you can just have it nearby you to let it burn safely until the paper is completely covered with the candle wax. This can take, depending on the candle, from hours to days, and it's both an offering and something that every time you look at, you remember your spell, and it helps focus your intention on the results. If you have to go out, you blow the candle, and then when you're back safely, you can just lit a match and start your spell again. Never leave candles unattended. Also, when you do spells, preferably no pets and no children in the room, especially if you have cats. It's very, very easy to end up with burned whiskers. And my cats, I'm always extremely careful, because if they see a candle, they're going to immediately go there, and it's dangerous, okay? Get everyone that can be heard out of the room. Now the question that someone asked me that is very correct in the comments: what do we do with the leftovers? We don't dump them in our trash can, especially if the spell is a negative one. All of this negative energy, you don't want it in your house. Ideally, because we want to be environmentally conscious, because it's bad karma to destroy the planet and the environment, if you use candles or papers that they are recyclable, you have to dispose them in a proper disposal place as far away from your house as possible. So if you have, let's say, a dog, you take the melted wax or you take the burnt papers and you dispose them in the appropriate trash can as far away from your house as possible. And then you completely put it out of your mind.